I am back with another unconventional cut file usage video for you guys today. And today I am going to be doing these cut files from some assemblage required, and I am going to be painting them with some shimmers paints. I've got some creamies and inklings, Pining for You and Tarnished Treasure, a couple of my favorites, you guys. I've been playing with them all month long. And some more inklings and creamies, Burnished Buckle and Dandelion. So I also went off camera before I started and spritzed them so that way they were ready and I could just get started to painting. Sometimes I forget and then I have to wait impatiently to get started. So the first thing I'm going to do is use my Burnished Buckle, which is a beautiful grayish, like it's a gray and brown, but it's very beautiful. It's got definite silver tones in it, and I just think that it is the perfect neutral on the gray side. So I went ahead and I painted my anchor really saturated, and then my birds not so much, so I got a little lighter, a little difference in the colors. Then I'm going to take my Tarnished Treasure and go ahead and paint the first coat on top of my life preserver, so that way I can get the strings and things one color, and then I'm going to come back and get those I don't know, the links in between the tube. I'm going to paint those a little bit darker. And then for my wheel, I'm going to do the exact same thing. I'm going to put a coat on it first, but I really liked when I was splashing the water how textured it looked. So I went ahead and I did a little bit more sprinkles, even though you can't really see them. I can, because of how when it was wet and the sprinkles went on, it definitely went, it kind of like spread out, or I think Tim Holtz calls it wicking. And it just was a really cool effect, even though it was a very slight, subtle one. And this Pining for You, I absolutely love. You put it on light and you get a totally different color than when you put it on dark. You layer it up, you get a totally different color. I mean, this is the best green I have ever played with, you guys. I love this little pot of green. It is beautiful. I don't know if, I do know Creamies is not as sparkly as all of the other colors that are available through shimmers. And so when I put this on, I can see the shimmer, but it's not so much. It's more of like, I don't know. It's more of like it just got wet type of shimmer, if that makes sense. Like it's always wet. So anyways, I'm going to go back to my wheel now that it's slightly dry and paint my Dandelion on top of it, because I really want this wheel to be like a golden brown. And Tarnished Treasure is a beautiful, beautiful brown. It's like a bronze. It is absolutely beautiful. And when I painted the Dandelion on top of it, it actually picked up the Tarnished Treasure that I thought was dry. And so I really liked that effect that I was getting. So I went back with my Tarnished Treasure to try to mix it in some more with this beautiful gold Dandelion. It's a very beautiful yellow gold, and it is a creamies as well. So I'm mixing an inklings and a creamies. That's hard to say together. So that way I get this beautiful golden brown that I am looking for, and I'm very happy with the effects once I am done. And I do go back in and blotch it because I don't want it to be perfect, you guys. I love that distressed look. I love when it is not perfect, because if you make it to where it wasn't meant to be perfect, then when you mess up, nobody can tell the difference. I mean, that's one of the things that I thrive on, is the fact that I meant to make it look messy. Right? So then, if I mess up, it's okay. All right. I am still prepping all of my pieces. When I make clusters, this is what I do. I prep all my pieces and all the things that I think I'm going to use with my clusters. And so I thought I would need about 2 of these vines. Now, this is one of the Creative Memories punches that I picked up, I want to say about 2 years ago now. So these punches, once they're gone, they're gone. They're very hard to get a hold of. And they don't last very long. I don't know why Creative Memories does that with their product, but it comes in, stays for about 6 months, maybe a year, and then it's gone. And I just I don't appreciate companies like that. I wish it was around a lot longer, because some people, they don't see it until they see it used, and then you know, they look for it, and I don't use my punches every day, all day, to show people that this is new, this is out there, go get it now type of deal. So anyways, I thought I would need about 2 of them, and I just went ahead and punched them on that cardstock that it came in a Not Just for Boys kit. In fact, all of these papers came in a Not Just for Boys kit, and this one, the green one, was called Road Trip, and then the hexagon, is it hex? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 is hex. Yes, the hexagon. Is it a hex? Help me out, you guys. It is definitely from my Not Just for Boys, and that is a Minte paper that I love. In fact, I have about five or six of them because I love the hexagon, but it's also got a beautiful tropical floral on the other side. That I just had I had to have multiples of because I love cutting up those hexagons or octagon. No, they're not they're not 8. It's 6. Oh my gosh, you guys, they're hexes. I love cutting them up and using them on different multiple projects. So I won't use as much as I thought I was going to because I decided to bring in these rings. Now, these rings have been sitting on my desk for a long time. I want to say since last year. And I keep moving them to where they're not in my side. I keep putting them back on my desk. It's one of those things that I want to use them, but I don't know how to use them because they're so big. They're big and they're thick. And then I came up with this idea because I'm doing, you know, a tropical themed embellishments. And I thought, well, I'll just wrap it with twine. So I picked out my thickest twine that I had so that way I didn't have to wrap it so many times. And of course it made it a little bit thicker, but I love how they look. I enjoyed wrapping them and looking at how they look. And especially incorporating them in these clusters too. I just need to not use them with the acrylic pieces that I have chosen. This is one of the wood pieces, again, from Some Assemblage Required. And what I did was I took that same exact twine and ran it down the fence line. So that way it looked like the fence was kind of tied together with you know, twine or string or however that works. At the beach. I've never seen a fence like this at the beach, you guys. Is this an Eastern thing? I've been to both coasts and I've never seen this. So help me out. Where do you see these? I really want to know. Actually, I really want to go where these are. And maybe I just haven't been to all the beaches to see where they are. But anyways, I just thought I'd point that out that I've never seen one of these at a beach before. No, I have not. Either that or they're slowly removing them, like they were at the beaches and now they're not, so which is sad because I really like the effect. Anyways, the little die cut pieces that I'm playing with are actually from the Simple Stories Vintage Coastal kit, and again it came with or collection, not kit, and it came in my Not Just for Boys Kit Club kit. So everything is basically from that kit, and I believe it is still available over at, the last time I checked. Don't quote me on that though. But I believe it is still available over there. And also, actually I'm using 2 kits. I apologize. So check out to see if both of the kits are still there. One is definitely a yellow and pink kit. Yes, I said the word pink. And I did pick it up. And then the other one is that wood grain and aqua kit. So, and both of them were beautiful coastal ocean kits. Absolutely beautiful. So I'm just layering up all my pieces. Now, I didn't show you guys all of the elements that I'm going to be using at the beginning of the video because of how long this video was. So I thought, you know what? I'm going to cut it out and I'm going to talk about it as I go if I remember. That's not funny. But I'm going to talk about it as I go. And then that way I didn't have to have, you know, a 5-minute intro on top of a 25-minute video. So I definitely wanted to try to keep this as short as possible. And this is it without having it sped up so much. I tried to watch it sped up, even faster than what it's going now, and I couldn't. And so I thought, oh, if I can't, then my viewers definitely can't. So this was about as fast as I could go. I took that pink, again, it was from that Not Just for Boys Kit Club kit. I took that pink, and it's really, truly, you guys, it is a peachy pink. Echo Park, calls it, hang on, I took off the branding strip, but Echo Parky, oh no, they call it pink and yellow. I thought it was peach and yellow, but seriously, it's a peachy pink. It's not in your face pink, you guys. It's a different pink, and it's, I guess, a subtle pink. No, it's not even subtle. Anyways, I enjoy working with that kind of pink as opposed to the neon pinks, you guys, seriously. So yes, I admitted it. And what I did while I was babbling, no, I haven't done it yet, I'm going to do it now, is I'm taking my Dandelion creamies and I'm painting my acrylic so that way I can push the paint into my score lines. And then that way I can give it a little bit of color, even though it's tone on tone color, especially for this one because it's a yellow fish and I'm painting yellow inside. But because of the shine that the creamies has, like I said, it's not a sparkle, it's a shine. It's like a wet shine. So now it almost gave my fish movement. So I really do enjoy the fact that I, went ahead and decided to do that. Now I used a rag to wipe up the surface of the fish because I knew the paint wouldn't dry to the surface. But because I created a score line and I broke through that shiny surface, the paint will adhere to the crevices, I guess is what I'm trying to babble at. So I definitely liked that. I experimented with that and didn't, and it worked out. I like that. So yes, I definitely do like that. I tried to get this life preserver to go at an angle, so that way the crosshairs, I don't know what those are called, you guys, weren't straight up and down or straight across, and it just kept looking all wonky to me. So I'm going to take out this hibiscus. This is also from it's also from Some Assemblage Required. I'm using a lot of their product today. I just had it all sitting on my desk and wanted to play with it, wanted to move it along, and these clusters were absolutely perfect to do that with. And so again, I'm going to take that same dandelion and work it in. This time, this one has an etching in it. And so I wasn't sure because of how big the etching was. Well, it's not big, but it's pretty, it's a big crevice. And I wasn't sure how the paint would take to that instead of just smushing it down into the score lines. And so I'm going to try it. And I have to say that it almost looked dirty when I first started, but then I don't know, you guys, it still looks a little dirty to me instead of that pretty little yellow that was in there when I first started. So I'm not really sure exactly, but I took some alcohol markers later and went back through and colored in, and I think I made it worse, but I don't know. I'm waiting for it to dry right now so I can get a final result in. Even the pictures don't show it completely dry, so the close-ups, I should say. But I do like the fact that I can take my paints and fill in the crevices of score lines and etch marks and things like that. It's super fun, and then with the acrylic, I can wipe it off the surface, and so that way I didn't change the color of the rest of the acrylic. Also too, Some Assemblage Required leaves the backing on the acrylic, and I forgot, so I put a glue dot on there, flipped it over, and realized, oh, got to take that off first before I can glue it down. I guess you don't have to take it off, but it might fall off eventually over time. I don't know the answer to that. But I would recommend taking it off. Then I went ahead and cut out a little bit of a hexagon, so that way I had, just something else to add to that little wheel thing. Then I'm going to cut apart the portal that came on this little cluster so I can attach it to my ring. And I thought, I kind of patted myself on the back. I was like, hey, that's pretty clever, because the leaf, I believe it's from a palm tree, it wraps around that hoop just perfect. I was like thrilled with myself at how it was the perfect curvature for this embellishment. It kind of brings the embellishment to life, even though this isn't a portal. I thought it was kind of cool. Now, Some Assemblage Required does have a portal available. Shameless plug, but it's not one of the elements that I pulled out to play with. to be honest. In fact, I pulled out way too many elements to play with, and most of them don't even make it into the clusters, and that is why I decided not to show you guys, because I show you guys way more than what I am using here on camera. So I've got another hibiscus. Again, I'm trying to paint it with the Dandelion creamies one last time, trying to figure out whether or not I still like it. And this time I put it in a little bit thicker because I wanted to see if it would dry, kind of like an enamel. I'm not really sure, because in the pot it dries really well, and then of course it reactivates when it's wet. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to try and see if it'll dry just like it does in the pot. And so I will patiently set it off to the side and see what it does. I'm going to take this twine, or this ribbon that I had in my stash. I believe it was gifted to me. I apologize about that, but I believe this section of ribbon was actually gifted, and so I cut a little piece off of it, and am going to wrap it around my anchor just for some sort of texture for the hibiscus to lay on. I wanted it to just give it that effect, that it's that it has texture, I guess is the only thing that I'm saying. It has texture. And then I'm going to secure it all with these glue dots, and I'm using my scissors to put it in. That way I didn't have to move the ribbon again, and lose that perfect spot that I had it. And of course, one of the pieces fell off, but I thought, you know what, that adds to the texture too. That adds to the movement of what I was trying to go for. And rope, if I was to have done this with rope is pretty thick. Especially if I'm putting this acrylic on it. So I wanted to keep it thin. I wanted to give it that thin look. And once I add all the elements to this, again, remembering to remove the backing first. But once I remembered, or once I applied everything to the anchor, the thinness just blends really well. I really like it. All right, so I'm going to add one of these little charms to this. Now this will be the second or third charm that I've added. These also came in the kit from the Not Just for Boys Kit Club. Now, I'm not sure which one, whether it was the pink kit or the aqua kit. But like I said, I believe both of these kits are still available if you guys want to go check it out. I'll have the links down below. If they are still available, I'll have the direct links down below. I am not associated with them whatsoever. I just really love what Meredy and Paula curate together. I think that their sense of style is a match spot on to mine. I mean, clearly not every kit that they make meets my fancy, but I don't expect it to, right? I don't expect them to heed to all of my crafting needs, but they are pretty close. And I mean, it's the first kit club that I don't have to be committed to. So it's not like it's every month I have to get this kit. And also too, it's, it definitely suits my style enough to where I keep going back, where others, I feel like it's a one-off. Oh my gosh, they finally got it right. And then, 12 kits later, it's not type of deal. So, I'm just very proud of, the fact that I finally found a kit club that I like, but I don't have to commit every month to. And I really appreciate that. I really like that. So anyways, second to last one that I'm working with now, and I'm just going through all the pieces. These cameras were also cut from one of those papers that were from a kit club, Not Just for Boys kit, and it is also a Minte paper. So I've got the fussy cut cameras on one side, and then they are traveling stamps, green on green traveling stamps on the other side. But I don't know the name of the collection, that the Minte collection that it came from. So, but that's where I fussy cut those, and clearly I used them on several, or at least 3 clusters, and never talked about them yet. I know I used it on the very first cluster, but yeah, I was inspired by all of the stuff that I had on my desk. So I had these cut files on my desk. I had these rings on my desk. And then, of course, I had the kits very close by because I just received them, one last month and one this month. And so, just in my orders that I place. But yeah, I just thought that they all were kind of coming together. It's almost like it had to wait for all the elements before I could, oh, it's time to put this one together type of deal. So this Hello Sunshine is very choppy. I have to tell you that because I wasn't too impressed with the dandelion being put in. So this is the dandelion, and it just doesn't show up like it did on my fish or my hibiscus. And so I brought in Tarnished Treasure. And then my son walks in and he goes, "Ooh, Mom, that looks dirty." Really? So, of course, before it dries, I try to wipe it up. Now it looks even more dirty. So I went deeper into the pot to try to get more shine because I was trying to make the word sunshine like a gold, like a bronzy gold, and it didn't work. So I had to pull out my alcohol markers, you guys. So I have some Spectrum Noir paint pens is basically what they call them, in gold, and I colored inside my shimmers with the paint pen. And again, the best part is I can take off the little bit that comes outside of the etching parts. And then I colored the word hello with my alcohol markers. They're Stampin' Up! Blends from Stampin' Up! And then I colored the rest of it just to give it that whole alcohol marker effect. I colored the rest of it with the I believe it's called Melon Melody or something like that. You guys, I'm sorry. I don't remember the color. But that is it. Oh my gosh. I babbled through that whole thing, and here I was thinking about what on earth was I going to talk about. Yep. So the hibiscus, by the way, I don't know if I show you guys another picture of it or not, but the hibiscus didn't really dry exactly the way that I wanted it to. So I might have to go back and revisit that one as well. But for the photos, I did not. They just, like I said, they just turned out a little dirty in the etching part. So anyways, thank you so much for hanging out with me forever today. I really, truly appreciate it. Be sure to check out Janet Fritz. She is also playing along, but I do know that her and I have both not been feeling well, not been able to get into the craft rooms, and that's one of the reasons why some of my videos are coming up a little late and hers aren't coming up at all, because we're just struggling this month. But we do truly appreciate the support that we have been given throughout this month, people checking on us, making sure that we are okay. We are. It's just life happens. But thank you so very much. It does fill our hearts knowing that you guys do care about, whether or not we disappeared for life or not. So thank you. And yes, I will check y'all later. Bye.